And it's pretty fantastic when you think about it, that all of these observations over time, they build in the trends. And it's those smart brand owners that pick that up and use it. So, as we were speaking about flavors, for example, you come to think of COVID and people were deprived of travel. It's not like we need to promote travel. I mean, I think most people I know, like myself, just adore traveling. So one of the things is why don't you get the experiences from other places that you can possibly not travel, not only because COVID or they're very remote or expensive, like the Caribbean. So why don't we introduce coconut? Why don't we introduce jawaffa? And then you pick up that these ingredients can integrate in your daily life, and therefore if you can't even access it physically in your local grocery store, you perhaps can get it in a branded format. Flora was a very interesting flavor for me, and I've seen it in many times. Personally, I'd rather smell it than eat it, but I don't mind trying it out every now and then. Now, I want to just zoom in a little bit around zesty and bold flavors and spicy as well, because um, what we have seen is and this is a trend from long time back. Humans like this contrast between sweet and sour, and I think this is one of the basics in Asian cuisine. It was picked up by many manufacturers in different sectors over time. I recall a workshop that we had in Zurich with the Chocolate Global team. I wasn't working on Toblerone, but I was part of that workshop because they needed an extended team, and at the time I was only handling Milka and Cadbury's, and we all sat together, all of these big brains, and we thought, let's think of where we which trend we can pick, and this one came out, and we're a chocolate company, and you say sweet and sour. It is that contrast. It is that workshop that we came out with salted caramel and salted almonds, which then was launched as the turquoise Toblerone. You've probably seen that, especially in duty free. So yes, there is a lot of applications, but the most important thing is for you to understand the taste preferences by country, and a lot of it can actually travel. I mean, spice is huge, and we expect lots and lots of growth. And this is just about, or let me rephrase that, it is not about just spice, hot. Okay, because I think a lot of the snacking chips companies, particularly, look at this in a very shallow manner, and they don't see the potential of actually the tons and tons of species of spice. I'm not the expert in that. I read about it, but yes, people want more heat in their food. Some of it is pretty dangerous. Some of it is really above the levels of even the Indian population that they can handle it. But think about it. There are so many seeds and herbs and so forth, and a lot of mixes that you can integrate if you're doing your R&D correctly. So we are predicting that coming up there is what we call spicy 2.0. This is not about chili. This is about plants that grow in different parts of the world. Actually, a lot of it in America, particularly South America, and they can be integrated with any kind of rice, pastas, chickens. You've got the Indonesian samal, Texican tajin, Korean. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce that one, but you have it there. And they've been seeing double-digit growth as you see the numbers on the slide. What I would advocate for is people, please do your homework and understand where the next level of growth. Copying and pasting, and the marketing guys do their jazzy work around labeling it in a different way, and the art directors do these lovely packaging. This is not really gonna work. The taste needs to be differentiated, and there is an understanding. You can build a narrative around those kind of spices and grow from there. There's a lot of need for understanding products. I mean, if you want to be differentiated, if you want to lead the game with that, because I sadly see a lot of products on shelf in the region. I'm not talking about a specific country. That brand managers don't really take the time to work with R&D and understand and test the right level of spices. And of course, I do understand that in many ways it goes down to what do you call it? The procurement efficiencies, where you can get good quality spices. I have to say, for example, there's a lot of chips and tortillas that I have tasted. It's the same brand, same flavor, so the blue one kind of Doritos, for example. I've tasted it around the world, the blue one, whether Europe, South Africa, or Middle East, or Egypt, and is actually different. Yeah. So yeah, again, satisfy and delight your customers. And if we're saying spicy is, the name of the game, okay, let's